Hey everybody, this is Stephanie Blake from Worldbride Magazine, and today we have with you all someone special, a dear friend, and I want you to introduce yourself, Nana, to our readers.
Hi, I'm Nana Quagraine. I'm the founder of 54 Kibo, and 54 Kibo is an online home decor store with a focus on African design. So I always say, our three core blocks are really anything that's African design, that's focused on craftsmanship, that has sustainability built in it, is really, falls within our scope of products that we choose. And I always start also with this thought of let's step back and think about the world, right? There are 8 billion people in this world, and there are 1.8 billion that are from Africa. They're either in Africa or they're in the diaspora in the US, like you and me, right? And all these people are making stuff. They creating pieces, just like you have Japanese design, you have Scandinavian design, you have African design. It's just African design is not being promoted to that same level. So that's really what 54 Kibo is trying to do. Make luxury African home decor accessible. Really easy for you to decorate, the wall, next time you're thinking about the light for a new room, rugs, it's one place, it's curated for you.
I love it. I love it. What a great start. Thanks for that. So your professional experience, I've read the bio, runs the gamut from like finance to public funding to sitting as board director for like Johannesburg Airport and then some other like important roles that service your country. How did you end up being a luxury curator of African home decor pieces?
I would probably say the same way you end up being all the other things you've done before, right? You sort of are curious about something, someone plans an idea, and then you take it and you run with it. When I was stepping back, it's like, well, how did I become a metallurgical engineer? That's like not a usual thing for a woman to be. But my dad was actually a high school principal, but he was also a guidance counselor, and he was really passionate about making sure you choose the right career. I think because for him, actually, he felt like he chose the wrong career, although, teachers are wonderful, and he was a really great teacher. He was probably one of the smartest kids growing up, and he felt like he didn't quite get the guidance to choose the right path for him. So I had books and books and books of all the things you could be. And so metallurgical engineer was sort of there. It was, there were all the reasons, there were a lot of reasons we chose it, and I fell into it. But it got it was fun to study, but not so fun to do.
I imagine.
After 2 years, you're like, oh, I have to go into a mine underground. I didn't quite, visualize
it's
that.
Serious.
You have to go up this, these escalators, and you have hot rolling steel underneath you.
Wow.
And you're like, oh, actually, I don't like heights.
Right.
So the fun part was developing new types of steels, but it became monotonous for me. So, I became a strategy consultant, but that's because, again, when I was studying, someone had planted the idea of, hey, there's this thing called strategy consulting. You know nothing about it, so you go explore it. Investing and all of that. And eventually I got to the point where it's like, wow, I've actually done a lot of really cool things, but where's this all going? And I realized, I wanted, the next phase was to do something where I had a little bit more control, but I also now have a perspective of the world of like, how do you build businesses? How do you actually try and make impact, but from a business perspective, it's not wonderful. From a nonprofit. It's actually like, I really do think in all ways you have to be profitable. Even when you're a nonprofit, you have to be profitable.
Absolutely.
Because you need to be sustainable. So that's a long way around of saying, given all my experiences, given I wanted to do something that was focused on Africa, given I had just given birth to twins, and so I couldn't get on the plane and be flying around 54 countries trying to do deals.
Yeah.
It all came together, and 54 Kibo was like the, and given I needed to be in Brooklyn, 54 Kibo was the natural next step.
That's amazing. So how did you come up with the name?
With the name, I've worked with, so I've done everything but marketing. So I worked with a really brilliant, marketing partner that I worked with at the time. And we were like, well, we want to focus on Africa, even the fact that Africa is 54 countries is not something that, you kind of know off the top of your head.
Right.
So yeah, 54 African countries. Kibo is the highest point in Mount Kilimanjaro. And Mount Kilimanjaro is is the highest mountain in Africa.
Yeah.
We're curating the height of African design. We're curating the most unique, the most interesting pieces.
Pieces within the 54. Oh, I love it. Yes, brilliant.
Within the 54 countries, but within the diaspora as well.
That's awesome.
When I started again, I was really focused on the 54 countries, but then I read, well, I'm actually outside of the 54 countries.
Exactly, there's us.
And they're like 600 million of us outside of the 54 countries.
Right, you got to include us now.
So Haiti, Jamaica,
that's right.
You have a Nigerian that grew up in Germany that's now living in the UK, that's making like beautiful stuff. She's part of the 54 African countries. So it's just ways that creativity happening, and what's how can we curate it?
Yeah. So now you won't change the name, but your reach now is beyond 54 countries in Africa. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
You shared with me that you launched during the health crisis. Like, what were those challenges, and most importantly, like, what were the breakthroughs that got you, like, that sustained you?
Yeah. Oh, we actually launched way before. We launched in 2017, so before the pandemic.
Okay.
So we launched I started 2017, we launched in 2018. So we'd been running for almost 2 years before the pandemic.
Right. I'm sorry, really, that was your kid. You had your children
right during that time. Yeah. So it was fortunate that we actually had always been online.
Yeah.
So when we started, it didn't quite make sense. Like, okay, so you're online and you're working from home, you have a home office. Yeah. So it was really weird, actually, those 2 years, because people would leave, dress up, put on their jackets and go to office.
And go to the work.
And I would dress up and go, downstairs to my home office and trying to explain that to my neighbors and friends that, no, I'm actually working.
Right.
Was kind of weird, like no one got it. And then
you were way ahead.
Happened, and everyone is working from home.
Everyone started working from home.
Yes, and it's totally possible. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing the last, so the transition was actually super easy, but it's obviously the pandemic was not.
Right.
And then you have kids, and you've got family, and you've got, so that was, you just had to, pace yourself. And make it through. That was the, sometimes your health is the first thing, and then if you don't have health, all the ideas are not worth anything. You can't
be there for anyone.
Yeah, you're not there.
Business. That's true.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
So, yeah.
So that's good. So as we're in the month of March, so we're springing forth into spring, and not just for the spring season, but this month of March, Worldbride Magazine is, like many other places, are honoring women and Women's History Month and the awesome things that women like yourself are doing. I'm so glad that not only are you a mom, you're a wife, you are an entrepreneur, like you're just checking all the boxes. So it's perfect timing to have you here with us during this month. But we would be remiss if we didn't ask you to share a person, a woman who impacted you the most, during your lifetime or during your venture into all of the different pathways that you've been on. Who can you highlight?
Well, it always starts with the mother, right? You're not here without your mother. It's amazing. Sometimes I look back at it and I'm like, almost even the first 5, 6, 7 years, almost set the whole tone for the rest of my life, right? Because your values get instilled, your sense of self, your sense of culture, your sense of, but I spent those first 6 years in Ghana, so it's not really just my mother. You're living with your grandmother there. I had the fortune to meet my great-grandmother. My mother has 5 sisters, so all those people are also your mothers.
That's true.
Your cousins. So it's a really tight, knit group of 15 or 20 people that are molding you, right? And that are like I think as a child, you almost don't really have anywhere to hide, because it's like wherever you go, even the people on your street,
that's right,
they're your mothers, like you better behave when you pass in that neighbor, say the news is going to go back.
That's true.
So in some ways, when I look at my kids, I'm like, right now you've got, just me and your dad, and we, when of course we've got, friends and so on, and so we're trying to create that for them synthetically. So I would say, yes, it starts with the mother, but it starts with all those female figures in your life, because you see their stories, you see their challenges, you see their bravery, you see their courage, you see how they stand up when, when there's a challenge, you see how they celebrate. So all those pieces, you take from people and you mold yourself into eventually who you want to be. So yeah.
That's great.
So, yes, yeah.
That's great. So lastly, I want you to tell everyone, where can they find you, and how? Wait, not only that, before you tell everyone where they can find you and all of your social media handles, we focus on women and brides and brides to be, grooms and grooms to be, essentially the family unit. And we love to let our readers know how your brand specifically impacts them and their lives, right? This is home decor. Everybody needs these amazing pieces, right? In their places, whether it's a new house or them deciding not to buy a new house just yet because they want to wait and invest. So it's an apartment, right? So just kind of speak a little bit into how couples could benefit from 54 Kibo and where they can find you.
Okay. So I would say, it probably starts even with the wedding, right? There's wedding gifts. We do really well with that category. So, it's a special occasion. If you're looking for, what does well is actually our ceramic pieces, our tabletop pieces. We've got these beautiful pieces by Fatili, who's a woman designer in Senegal. And she really designs these pieces, and the prints are silk printed in Italy, and then it's on Limoges ceramic, which is like the finest ceramic material you can find. And so we've really made these really beautiful pieces that you can, it's an investment, and you share it with a couple, and they can, have it for a long time and pass it on, hopefully on to their kids as well.
That's right.
So so the ceramic pieces are really great. We have salt and pepper shakers. You have hand woven Ethiopian cotton bath towels and kitchen pieces. I tell everyone, everyone thinks of Ethiopia and it's like they've been growing cotton since the 1st century. That's a long time. That's a lot of expertise.
That's right.
You feel these materials and you're like, oh, this feels different on my skin. Right? This is different. It brings a different energy into the house.
That's right.
We've got our pillows. This is probably one of my favorite at the moment. This is woven in Senegal.
Wow.
And to get this interwoven weave, you have to have 2 people working on the loom at the same time.
Amazing.
Right.
Handwork.
So you have to be really in tune, right? You think about it, we come to work every day and you're already bringing yourself, but the other person has to bring themselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
To create this piece. And then so these are all beautiful pieces to gift. And then for decorating the home, what our lighting incredibly well. We got one of our newest pieces, actually, this like perfect kitchen pendant light or hallway light. And these are all hand beaded. So
beautiful.
I'm not sure if it's clear there, but it's actually hand beaded by Master Beadsmiths from Zimbabwe. You know, everything is, I mean, the detail here.
Very intricate.
Yeah, very intricate. We have, I'd be remiss not to mention these. This is, you know, woven pendant lighting.
Oh, look at that.
Wood, totally. Each piece is actually, this is wax cord that's woven onto it.
Yeah.
And we had a variant of this that was Black Panther.
Oh my goodness.
So really, so I'm really excited about those. So these are handmade in South Africa, Cape Town.
Wow.
So maybe next, if you go to Cape Town, you can meet the designer there.
Love it. I love it. Right. And I'm looking forward to featuring all of these pieces in our story.
Yeah. And so we online, you know, it's 54keyboard.com. You search for us, we'll pop up. It's curated African home decor. We're on Instagram as well. So you can, you know, read a little bit more, see some of our socials. And so very easy. You go online, you purchase, and we'll deliver it to you. It will come from Zimbabwe. It will come from, you know, whether it's Zimbabwe, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Mali.
That's awesome and so exciting. And I know that you guys are excited to support. Thank you, Nana, for being with us today. And you guys can definitely find her and a lot more amazing brands and companies that we seek after, sought after, curate just for you, right? So you can find us at Worldbride Magazine everywhere. Worldbride Magazine on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're even on Pinterest. You can find us in a lot of different places under Worldbride Magazine. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on social media.